Good morning, students. Today, the topic which we are going to discuss is workshop. Now, the learning objectives of today's topic are the concept of workshop means the students will able to understand what is the concept of workshop. Definition, you will able to understand what is the particular definition of a workshop. Third one, essential features of workshop. What are the essential features of a workshop? Fourth one, principles of workshop. What are the different principles on which a workshop has to be conducted? Now, the introduction of a workshop. The workshops are organized to develop the psychomotor aspects. Now, why we are organizing a workshop? Now, workshops are organized by the teacher as the teacher wants to develop the psychomotor aspects among the learners or among the students. Now, the psychomotor aspects where we learn by doing skill development of the learners regarding practices of new innovations where the learner develops or learns a skill regarding practice of new innovation, new things in area of education where these practices are required in areas of education. Under this technique, participants have to do some practical work under this technique means when a teacher is organizing a workshop. Now, when a teacher has organized that workshop, now the participants means the students, those who are participating in that particular workshop have to do some practical work. They have to conduct some practical work to produce instructional teaching and testing material. And why they want to do that, they have to do that practical work because so that they can produce some instructional teaching and testing materials. Now, workshop is defined as assembled group of 10 to 25%. How many persons can easily participate in a workshop? So we are saying that if a workshop has been organized, then 10 to 25% can easily assemble in that workshop who share a common interest or problem. Now, how we have to form that particular group? That group will be formed on the basis of common interest of the students or the person who are going to participate in that workshop or problem or means they have some similar problem or they want to find the solution of that particular problem. For finding that particular problem, a workshop can be organized. They meet together to improve their individual and skills of a subject. Now, they meet the participants of the group that has been formed for a particular workshop. They meet together to improve their individual means they are meeting so that their individual performances and skill of a subject and skill of a particular subject through intensive study, research, practice and discussion means they want to develop, they want to improve their individual and skills of a particular subject through intensive study means they have to do a deep study first thing, research on that particular topic. They will do a research so that they can find out a solution of a problem. Practice, they work on that, and discussion, they will discuss among themselves so that the solution of a problem can be find out or a area or related to that a workshop has been conducted, some productive work may be come out. Now, workshop is a meeting, it's a type of a meeting during which experienced people in responsible positions come together, during which experienced people means who can participate in the workshop. The people who can participate in the workshop must have some experience in that particular area. Which experienced people in responsible position should have a responsible position come together. All they will come together with experts and consultants to find solutions for the problem. And now, why they are coming together? They are coming together to find out the solution of a particular problem that cropped up in the course of their work and they have had difficulty in dealing with. Now, why they want to find out the solution of that particular problem? They want to find out the solution of that particular problem because that cropped up in the course of their work and they have some difficulty in dealing with that particular problem. That's why they want the solution. Dealing with on their own means they have the difficulty in dealing with their own. That's why they are coming in a group to find out the solution of that particular problem. It is a large group discussion method. So we can also call a workshop as a large group discussion method where discussion among the peoples are held. Now, essential features of workshop. What are the essential features of workshop? The first one is complete active involvement by the participants. Now, when you have decided that you will conduct a workshop, means every individual, every participant must actively involved in that workshop. Second, the whole point of attention is to work and learn from practical experiences. Now, workshop focused on learning by doing. That's why they are saying the whole point of attention of a workshop is to work. They have to perform some work and learn. And by performing that work, they will learn new concept from practical experiences. Why practical experiences? Because they are involved in learning process and they are learning by doing. Participants may have to work as reporters or leaders, and the participants have to dual responsibility of a reporters or a leader. Now, principles of workshop. The first one, allowing the participants to prepare and select objectives to be reached will increase the participants' motivation. Now, what is that? That before you have decided that you will organize a workshop, first thing is that you have to prepare the objectives. Now, the participants of the workshop will prepare objectives for that particular workshop. That these are the particular objectives that we want to achieve after the completion of the workshop, and why they have to select objectives so that it will increase the participants motivation, means the participants will be motivated to achieve or to reach those objectives. That's why the selection and the preparation of the objectives are must. Now, the second one is giving the participants an active role, means they are actively involved in their learning process. They are not just passive listeners, just sitting and listening what the teachers are saying. No, workshop is giving the opportunities to the participants to play an active role, will make teaching more effective. And when they are actively involved in that, then it will make the teaching effective. Improves a person's attitude towards other people. The fourth one is learn better human relations because they learn how to cooperate with each other, how to collaborate with each other, how to respect other viewpoints also. So that workshop is helping the learners or the participants to learn better human relations. The next one is giving the participants an active role will take teaching more effective. If they will give them a active role, then the teaching will be more effective. Every individual have worth and contributes to the common good, and when they are involved in the teaching learning process, they are active in that, then what will happen? Every individual have worth and contribute to the common goals that we want to achieve through the workshop. Cooperation is a technique and a way of life, means to cooperate with other people. That is superior to competition and is a primary factor to be allowed. Workshop should focus on the current issues in the profession to be discussed. Now, on which topic the workshop should be organized? So, workshop should be organized or should focus or give importance to the current issues that are relevant to the current situations. Current issues in the profession, it might be a teaching profession, it might be a engineering profession, law profession, any profession which is, but they have to select a problem or they have to focus in the workshop on the current issues in the profession to be discussed. Workshop should be conducted with full cooperation with organizers. Means when we are conducting a workshop, it should be organized or it should be conducted in such a way that there should be a full cooperation within the organizers also. Now, objectives of workshop. What are the objectives of conducting a workshop? The first one is, there are two objectives. The first one is cognitive objective and the second one is psychomotor objective. Now, cognitive objective, to solve the problems of the teaching profession. Now, why cognitive objective? Because it will able to solve the problems of the teaching profession. Means by conducting a workshop on that, we will able to solve the problems of the teaching profession. The second one is to provide the philosophical and sociological background for instruction and teaching situation. And its provide means a workshop provides the philosophical and sociological background for instructional and teaching situations. The third one is to identify the educational objectives in the present context. Means we will able to find out that these are the specific educational objectives for the present context, yeah, in the present context. The fourth one is to develop an understanding regarding the use of theme and problem. Means it will develop an understanding of the participants regarding the use of theme and the problem which we are discussing in the workshop. Now, psychomotor objective. The first one is to develop the skill to perform tasks independently. Means it will develop the skill of the participants so that they can perform their tasks independently. To determine and use of teaching strategies effectively. To find out the different teaching strategies first thing and how to use these teaching strategies effectively. The third one is to train the person for using different approaches of teaching and to train the persons who are the participants of the workshop so that they can use different approaches of teaching in the teaching learning process. Workshop technique is used to seed, explore, and identify the solution of a problem. Now, workshop technique will be used to seed. explore and identify the different solutions to a problem which will be discussed in a particular workshop. It is used for in-service teachers for giving awareness and training of new practice education. Now, in-service teachers, those who are doing their teaching right now. Now, it is used for in-service teachers means those who are teaching, involved in teaching, can use the workshop technique can be used for them for giving awareness. We will give them awareness and training of new practices of education that has to be conducted. Now, next one is it provide an opportunity means workshop will provide an opportunity to prepare specific professional, vocational and community service functions. Now, workshop provides an opportunity to prepare specific professionals, means it will be related to specific professions, vocational and community services functions. Now, what are the different purpose of organizing a workshop or conducting a workshop? The first one is to put teachers in situation that will break down the barriers between them to facilitate communication. Now, it is what they are saying that workshop has a particular purpose, and that particular purpose is to put teachers in a situation that will break down the barriers between them to facilitate the communication, means it will facilitate, motivate or encourage them to communicate. To give opportunity for personal growth means workshop are giving an opportunity to the teachers for their personal growth, for their personal improvement through accepting and working towards a goal held in common with others. Now, the third one, to give teachers an opportunity to work on the problems. Now, it's giving an opportunity to whom? To the teachers, so that they can work on the problems, on the different problems and the issues. Those are direct, that has to be done directly, current of the current situation, concerned to them and that are related to them. Teacher will learn new methods in workshops, new innovative methods will be discussed, and by discussing on those methods, the teachers will learn them and techniques and different techniques which they can use in their own classrooms. Means workshop helps them to learn the new innovative methods and techniques to teach students, and after learning them the new methods and techniques, these methods and techniques can be implemented by the teachers in their own classrooms also during their teaching learning process. To place teachers in a position of responsibility for their own learning, and its workshop is helping a teacher in a position of responsibility where he has to take the responsibility for their own learning. Now, why of their own learning? Because they are involved themselves in the teaching learning process. The teachers are learn by doing, so we are saying that it's their responsibility for their own learning. To put the teachers in a situation where they will evaluate their own efforts. A workshop is putting the teachers in a situation, in a condition where they will be evaluate their own efforts, means they are assessing their own performances to give the teachers an opportunity to improve their own model. Now, the procedure, the organization of the workshop can be divided into two phases. Means if we have decided that we have to organize a workshop, then that workshop can be divided into two phases. There are two phases for organizing, for conducting a workshop. The first one is pre-active phase and the second one is active phase. Now, the pre-active phase, step one, define the goal. Means every workshop must have a purpose, a goal, and a aim. Every workshop must have a goal. Means the participants of the workshop must decide that this is the particular aim of organizing or conducting that workshop. Clear goals should be kept at the center of the discussion. Now, clear goals should be kept at the center of discussion means every participants must know that these are the goals and they should be defined to them in a clear and definite manner so that everyone knows that these are the goals which we want to achieve through the discussion or through by learning by doing. Step 2, decide the target group. Knowing who will participate directly refers to the objectives. Who are going to participate in that workshop? That will be the target group. Whether that workshop will be organized for in-service teachers, whether that workshop is organized for pre-service teachers. Now, the pre-service teachers and the in-service teachers are the target groups for which we are organizing a particular workshop. Make a list of people who needs to be there. Means that these are the experts of that particular field need to be there in that workshop. Try to be as specific as possible. You have to be specific as much as you can, but leave a few opening for last minute's addition. But there should be some opportunities or last minute additions can also be done. Now, steps 3, select the right location. Now, what will be the right location? The venue where we have to conduct a workshop. It should be a place where uh, everyone able to see the visual aids or the projector should be placed in such a way that if a person is showing a 3pt can be easily visible by all the people and a venue should be such that every person those whom we are calling for participating in the workshop can easily come there. Now, think about the logistic and practical details of the workshop for the selection of the location. Means the venue where the workshop will be conducted. Details of the workshop for the selection of the location where it will be conducted. Make sure that everyone be able to see the visual aids. Means the sitting arrangements or the room should be so the light should be proper so that everyone will able to see the visual aids that being displayed during the workshop. Also make sure that the appropriate facilitating facilities for breakout sessions. Will everyone be able to reach venue? Means it whether it will be feasible for everyone to reach the venue easily or not. Need to organize accommodation for people who are coming from a long way, or we have to organize accommodations for people who are coming from different uh, districts or from the different countries or from the different states where they will stay. We have to organize all the things. Now, the fourth one is prepare an agenda. Now, main points, create a list of main points to discuss and break down each larger points into detail. Now, main points, create a list of main points. What it means that when you are preparing your agenda for the workshop, All the main points should be discussed there. For that, we have to prepare a list of main points that we have to discuss in that particular workshop and break down each larger point into detail, and we have to break down each larger points into smaller points and into details that every point has to be discussed in a proper manner. Visual aids. List the visual aids, if any, to be used for each point. Now, visual aids, if we are using any visual aids for that discussion or for solving a particular point or discussing on a point, if we are using the visual aids, then we have to mention that this visual aid will be used for that particular point. If need technical support, provide extra help. If it needs technical support, whether you are organizing a workshop, there will be a visual aids, there will be a projector, then you need a technical supporter also, who can give expert help when we are having some problems in displaying a visual aid or showing a PPT or anything else. This helps the people to determine where they need to focus their efforts. Now, discussion and activities. Take a time to list exactly which group discussion and activities will be used at which point. Now, you have prepared that these are the main points on which we have to do the discussion. Now, which group discussion and activities will be used at which point, you have to be very specific in the workshop. While you are decided that you will conduct a particular workshop, you have to decide that this, for this particular point, we will have that type of discussion and these activities will be conducted. How much time will be allowed for each exercise? The allocation of time for each activity should be specific. Make sure that activities are appropriate for the size of the group. While you are preparing or deciding that these will be the activities that will be organized, then you have to be sure that activities should be appropriate for the size of the group. Means if it's a large size of the group members, then the activity should be organized in that manner. If it's a small size group, then activities should be accordingly. And ensure that the venue has the resources. Now, venue has the resources means the projector should be there, displaying the audio visual aids should be there, multimedia projectors should be there. If the teacher, if the group members or if the participants need some flashcards, then it should be there. Some display boards wants, then everything should be there at the venue where the workshop is to be organized. Now the second one is the active phase. Now the first stage, presentation of the theme for providing awareness. Now first thing is what? Presentation of theme means you have to present that this is the theme on which we are going to organize our workshop, because it will access as providing awareness among the participants. Resource persons or experts are invited to provide the awareness and understanding of the topic. Now, what they are saying, that if you have decided that you will organize a workshop, then you also have to call the resource persons or experts of that particular field or the experts of that particular area, so that are invited to provide the awareness. They will provide the awareness to the participants on the theme and understanding of the topic, and they will make them understand that this is the topic, this is the topic on which we are going to conduct that particular workshop. Paper reading is done to discuss the different aspects of the theme. Means We can organize paper reading in the workshop so that everyone will able to understand the different aspects of the theme of that particular workshop. In the first stage, theoretical background is provided to the participants. Theoretical background, the introduction part, what is the important, what is the theme, what is the concept of that particular topic on which the workshop is to be organized. Now the second stage, practice the method for its applicability, means we will practice the method which we have learned for its practical applicability, that we have to apply this method in the teaching learning process. In the keeping in mind this thing, that we have to apply this knowledge, we have to practice accordingly. In the second stage, the group is divided into small groups. The group is divided into different small groups on basis of language, on the basis of language that has been used, subject studies on the topics which they are going to study, and every participant has to work individually and independently. Why individually and independently? Because each participant is responsible for its own learning. A resource person or expert is assigned to provide the guidance for the work to be performed. And what is the role of the resource person or expert that has been invited for that particular workshop? Is that they will give some guidelines, they will guide the participants for the work to be performed, that like that work particular work has to be performed. Every trainee has to complete the task. Every trainee that has participated in the workshop has to complete the task that was given to them within the given period. Within the given period means within the duration that is allocated to them for doing that particular task. At the end, they meet in their group. After they have completed their task, they again meet in the group and discuss, and they will discuss in the group and present their task to be completed, and they will present that their task to be completed in that way. Third stage, at the round up of workshop, a representative of each group will then be asked to present the findings. Now, at the round up of workshop, what will happen? uh, every group that has been formed will represent a representative, and that representative were asked to present the findings of their particular group on which they have worked. In second stage, the participants are required to elaborate a meaningful ordering scheme for the thus for the collected text elements. The roundup will be on a reflective discussion with all workshop participants, means now the discussion will be held among all the participants, where the experience of teaching methods is put into personal. Now you will share your personal experience. Example, what value participants see in the use of teaching methods, or what elements regarding the context cause uncertainties with participants. Follow up. It is an important part of good workshop. Effectiveness is ascertained by an objective follow-up. Objective means it should not be a biased follow-up. Follow-up which will be done after the completion of the workshop. The trainees are asked to continue their task and examine its work's ability and inability in their working setup institutions. The participants are invited to meet again, that they have come to meet again and present their institution feedback. institution feedback. That, for example, they have learned an inductive deductive workshop has been conducted. They have learned there how to teach students with this method. When they will go in their institutions, they will apply inductive deductive method to teach the students. Now what will happen? They will have some feedback how the students learn, what difficulties they face when they have used this method to teach the students. After this field work, they will again come and they will meet again, and they will present their institution feedback, what difficulties they feel, how was the reactions of the students while they teach, and how whether that method helped the students to improve their achievements or not. Regarding applicability, whether might be some uh, participants say that they will not get the permission to apply that particular method. Regarding applicability of the topic or new practices, they may give some practical suggestions in this context. Now they have the practical knowledge. Now they can give some suggestions in this context also. And last report of the workshop is prepared. And after that, the last report of that particular workshop will be prepared. Now, what are the different advantages of organizing a workshop? The first one is used to realize the higher cognitive and psychomotor objective. Means workshop helps to achieve us the higher cognitive and psychomotor objectives. Used for developing understanding and proficiency for the approaches and practices in education. Means a workshop can be used for developing understanding, means your concept of that particular you will able to understand that particular concept, you will comprehend that particular concept, and proficiency for the approaches and practices in education, provide opportunities and situations to develop the individual capacities of a teacher. It's provide different opportunities and situations or the conditions to develop the individual capacities, means the individual abilities of a teacher, develops the feeling, cooperation, and group work or teamwork. And workshop also develop in them the feeling of cooperation, means all the group members will cooperate each other to find out the solution of a particular problem. And group work, the importance of group work or teamwork, provides a situation to study the vocational problems and introduce new practice and innovations in education. Workshop helps to introduce the new practices that can be applied or the new innovations that can be used in the field of education. It is used for developing and improving profession efficiency, example nursing, medical, dental, etc. And workshop are also help for using for developing and improving the proficiency efficiencies of the participants. The teacher proficiencies can be developed by using the workshop technique for in-service teaching. Now, in-service teaching, those teachers who are teaching the students in the field in the practicals also, for them also we can organize a workshop. And for organizing the workshop for in serving teachers, help them to develop their proficiencies. What are the disadvantages of conducting or organizing a workshop? The first one is the workshop in education or seminar come workshop on any theme or topic. Means we are saying that we are going to organize a workshop, but in education, seminar come workshops are organized on any theme or a problem. The in-service teachers do not take interest to understand and use the new practices in their classrooms. Means they don't want to take participations in the workshops that has been organized for uh, for making them learn the new practices and the new methods of teaching that they can apply in their classroom. So they are not interested in attending those workshops. The workshops cannot be organized for large groups. Means the workshop can be organized for smaller groups only, so that large number of persons are trained, and so it is difficult to train a large number of people altogether. The teacher do not take interest in practical work where they have to involve in the teaching learning process, where they have to do something, then only they will learn that concept, or to do something in a productive form. Conclusion: workshop may be a room or building which provides both the area and tools, machinery that may be required for the manufacture of repair manufactured goods. Workshop were the only places of production where the production has to be done until the advent of industrialization and factory. Summary: now learning regarding the topics, we come to know the introduction, definition, objective, scope, role of workshop technique, disadvantages, limitations, and most valued parts of workshop. Now, to read further on this topic, you can refer these references. Now let us discuss some MCQs related to the topic which we have discussed today, as MCQs are the best way to find out the learning outcomes of the participants or the learners. The first one is dash are organized to develop the psychomotor of the learner, which are organized to develop these aspects of the learning. Now the options are: A. Workshop, whether it is in workshop; B. Seminar, whether it's in seminar; C. Role play, it's a role play; or it's D. Drama. So these are the options, and you have to select the correct one. And the correct one is option A, that is workshop. So we are organizing a workshop so that develop psychomotor development of the learner can be possible. The second one, in dash technique, participants have do some practical work to produce instructional teaching and testing material. Now, fish technique is that where the participants have to do some practical work so that they can produce some instructional teaching and testing material after the completion of the workshop. Now the options are: A. Workshop, B. Seminar, C. Role play, or it's D. Drama. So the correct answer is option A, that is workshop. Workshop is defined as assembled group of dash person who share a common interest or problem. Now, when you are forming a group for a particular workshop, then how many people should be there? And the selection of the participants should be based on that they should have a common interest, or they should have a some common problem. Now the options are: A. 10 to 25, B. 11 to 26, C. 12 to 27, or it's D. 13 to 27. So the correct answer is option A, that is 10 to 25 persons can be there when we are conducting a workshop, or we are assembling a group of 20 10 to 25% who are sharing a common interest or problem. Dash meet together to improve their individual and skill of a subject through intensive study, research, practice, and discussion. Now, what should be the answer? And these are the choices: A. Workshop, B. Games, C. Play, or it's D. Drama. Now, these are the choices, and you have to select the correct one. And the correct answer will be option A, that it is a workshop. So, workshop meet together to improve their individual and skills related to a particular subject on which the workshop has been organized, and they will improve their individual and skills because in workshop they have to do a intensive study, means a deep study, research to that area, practices and discussions related to that particular topic or theme. Now, sixth one is the whole point of attention is to work. Means the main area, the more focused area or to on which we are giving attention is that we have to work and learn from practical, and we are learning them through what practicals in dash workshops and in workshops that have been conducted. Now the options are: A. Experiences, B. Formal, C. Teaching, or it's D. Learning. So these are the options A, B, C, D. Now you have to select the correct answer on the basis of these choices. Now, what will be the correct answer? Yes, the correct answer will be option A, that is experiences. So, the whole point of attention when you are organizing a workshop is to work, that whole the participants will work there and learn, and they will learn from the practical experiences. Now, the seventh one: workshop must have a dash clear goal should be kept at the center of the discussion. Now, what must a workshop have? A, goal, it should have a goal. B, point, it should have a point. C, teaching, it should have a teaching, or it's D, learning. Now, these are the options, students. Now, you have to select the correct one on the basis of the given choices, and the correct answer is option A. Eighth one: a resource person is assigned to provide the dash for the work to be performed. Now, what is the role of a resource person? Now, what work has been assigned to that particular resource person or the expert of that particular area? Options are: A, guidance, B, objective, C, learning, or it's D, teaching. What role is given to them? Now, students, you have to select the correct answer on the basis of the given choices, and the correct answer is option A, that is a resource person is assigned to provide the guidance to the participants, those who are participant in that particular workshop. Now, the ninth one: in dash step, prepare an agenda. In which step you have to prepare an agenda? We have to create a list of main points, and we have to create a list of main points to discuss, which will be discussed, and break down each larger points into detail, and we have to mm, break down the larger points into details. Now the options are A. Workshop, B. Schedule, C. Observation, or it's D. Role play. No. These are the options, and the correct one is workshop. In workshop steps, prepare an agenda we have to create. Now, the 10th one, the organization of the workshop can be divided into dash phases. In how many phases the organization of workshop can be divided? Now the options are A2, B3, C4, or it's D5. Now, the correct answer will be option A, that is 2. So, we can say that the organization of a workshop can be divided into two phases. Thank you, students. With this particular narration, you understand what is the concept of organizing a workshop. Then we have discussed the effective means of organizing a workshop. Then we have discussed about the purpose of organizing a workshop, why a workshop has to be organized, the different objectives which has to be achieved by organizing a workshop. We are said that these are two objectives, the cognitive and the psychomotor objective, that has to be achieved while we are organizing a workshop. Then we have discussed the purpose of organizing a workshop, then different steps that are involved in the organizing or conducting a workshop. Then we have discussed that there should be some aim, goal, or purpose of organizing a particular workshop, and that goal, objective should be clear to every participant, those who are participating in that particular workshop. And in the end, we have discussed different advantages, that these are the particular advantages of organizing a workshop. And in the end, we have discussed about the limitations of organizing a workshop. So today we have discussed all these points. So in the next class, we will discuss about the different teaching method, or an innovative method, that is inductive deductive method. Thank you, student. Thank you for your patience listening.